Well, my name is Carmen Rubio. I live in Richmond, California, and I'm an incoming freshman at Middle College High. There are over 250,000 skaters in the United States alone, and for the past 5 years, I've been one of them. Hi, my name is Carmen Rubio. Like I said, I'm from Richmond, California, and I'm about to be a freshman. I'm an incoming freshman at Middle College High School. Cheerleaders can practice their tumbles on almost any open area, and soccer players can practice whatever they need to practice on almost any grassy surface. But as a figure skater, if I don't have ice, there's really not much I can do. And that became abundantly clear during the COVID-19 pandemic when the rinks closed, and like everything else in the world, my training was put on a complete pause. And I live here in California. We don't exactly have frozen lakes and ponds you can just jump onto to practice on. For every day a skater takes off, it takes two just to get them back to where they left off from. This is why in skating there is no off season. We train year round. And that's why when the rinks shut down, I had to do what I could to continue to train off the ice. I ran for endurance, worked out, and did leg exercises like lunges and squats for stronger and higher jumps. But there really wasn't much I can do for my spins. That's why I created the Skater 360 off-ice spinner. What's off-ice, you might ask? To put it simply, off-ice is a term we skaters use to describe the fundamentals we practice on the floor, off of the ice, to help our on-ice movements. It's the squats we do for higher jumps and the stretches we do to pull off those cool positions you see on TV. Now, there are other spinners. The reason is, oh, hold on, my webcam. Hold on.
So we've had lots of technical difficulties. This is not a problem. Oh, you're back. You're back.
I've returned. All right. Sorry about that. There are other spinners out there. I've had a bunch, but they don't work. And the reason is that they're all made for dancers. They're dance turn and dance spin boards. Dancers and skaters spin very differently. The most obvious difference being how dancers spin on their feet and we have our blades. But the most important difference is how dancers spin on the ball of their feet with the body is completely aligned. As skaters, we also spin on the ball of our feet, but we lean back, we lean forward, we curl up into small balls inch from the ice, you name it. And on those dance turn boards, you'll never be able to practice that because that's not what they were made for. My original idea was just to improve upon the dance spinner by changing the axis and making it for skating. But I realized that the only way to make it feel like you were skating with your boots on was to, well, be wearing them. So I created the only spinner that allows you to spin with your skating boots on. If this loads, here's a video of me spinning on the ice and on the spinner, same exact spin to show you how it works. All right, I am going to show you a little bit on my screen, but those are the materials that are list form. It's made out of 3D printed plastic with a ball bearing mechanism that makes it spin. Originally, there were going to be 4 screws on top and 4 screws on bottom. What are you doing? No, you don't need to stop the share. Sorry about that. Originally, there was going to be 4 screws on, oh, hold on. Originally, there was going to be 4 screws on top and 4 screws on bottom, but the bottom 4 stuck out like pegs, which meant that they would carry majority of the weight, and when the skater stepped on it, it would crack. I didn't want that, so I took them out, ran back to the store, and got some epoxy and epoxied the base. And now it works perfectly fine. I was so excited after putting it together that I immediately, oh, whoopsies. This is not working for me. I was so excited after putting it together that I immediately ran to my room and decided to test it. I was slipping and sliding all over, but I fixed this by adding some hot glue to the bottom, which you can kind of still see. And in future designs, I had a more effective and sleeker way of doing this. I was so incredibly grateful to be able to go to the rink and have some skaters test it. They gave me 2 very important bits of information and feedback. The first being how it was kind of tall and a little scary to get on, and the second being how once they got on it, it felt like the ice. And that was incredibly amazing to hear because that was the entire point of making it, to make it feel like the ice when ice wasn't available. I was so excited that I immediately went home and started working on my second design, this one. I, of course, lowered it per their constructive feedback. And although no one said anything about it, after hours of staring at it, I realized that yes, this square design did look cool, but it was a waste of material. So I cut off a triangle piece of material here, not affecting any of the mechanics of it, but just saving on material and not wasting any more plastic. Like I said, I did find a better way to stop from slipping and sliding, which was a rubber-based plate, which is a lot sleeker and more effective to stop from falling off. My next steps, I'm currently looking into patents and trademarks for the spinner, and I'm moving into the second phase of testing with a larger group of skaters, so I can collect data on how they use the spinner and how it affects their skating. I just bought a 3D printer, which I'm using to create a bunch of spinners to give out to the skaters and to mess around with what's more effective and what's better. I did print this one with the logo on it and the words, which is kind of cool. And I have been messing around with different types of material like resin to see if maybe there's a cheaper way or a better way, if it needs to be more flexible or harder. This is the first mold that I made, and then right now I have this blue cast and this purple casting. So those are the two different materials I've been working with. After hearing my coaches and former Olympic skaters tell me how much they wish they had this when they were competing and how much they think this helped the skating community, I'm so encouraged and excited to think that I could be the one to bring that to my fellow skaters. I honestly can't wait for the day where anyone can give it a spin on or off the ice. Thank you.
Congratulations on your invention.
Thank you.
I don't know a lot about ice skating, but your presentation explained it very clearly. It was really easy to understand what you were talking about. You did a really nice job for people that aren't skaters, that I understand what you're saying and how it works and how important it is. I think it's great that you took that problem that you had and you went for it and you solved it. And the whole process you went through. How long did it take you from when you came up with this idea to where you are now? How long have you been working on it?
I've been working on it throughout the school year. It was a school program. I did the AAC program at my my middle school. It started about February, and I didn't really get the first print for a while there. Maybe around the National Invention, the California Invention Convention is when I actually got my first printing of it. So it's been a while from point A to this newest point D with the latest design. But it's been on and off with designing on Tinkercad, designing in my sketchbook, and then printing things and putting it together and working on it.
I am not a patent attorney, okay? But you said you were thinking about getting a patent. Have you done anything about that?
I bought a really big book.
Okay, so here's the story. Here's the story. I am not a patent attorney, but I believe that once you make a public disclosure of your patent, it starts a clock, and you have to file your patent. And if you don't file before the clock strikes midnight, you lose the ability to get a patent. So I think you need to, if you're serious about this, you need to put the book away and go talk to a professional and find out what the truth really is and what do you have to do and when do you have to do it.
All right.
Yeah, do that right away because you've got a good idea.
Thank you.
What impressed me the most is all the problems that you had. We have a lot of times students will do something and they works and then they go, okay, I'm done. And yours didn't work and you're not done. And then it didn't work and you're not done. And you kept improving and making it better. And I think that's excellent, excellent work.
Yeah, there's actually one thing that I'm working on right now. Originally, I just ordered a 4-pack of ball bearings off Amazon for proof of concept. And that's what's actually in this spinner right now. But after working with this one for so long, bringing it to the rink, getting it dirty and all that stuff, the spinner's actually started to become hard to spin. So I'm looking into like a better ball bearing system that won't get messy and dirty and stop spinning after a long period of time.
Great, great. You said you got the parts 3D printed.
Mm-hmm.
Where are you doing that? Are you doing that yourself, or?
Well, the original one was at the Richmond Fab Lab, which is what my school provided, and then I just bought a 3D printer that's currently on my kitchen table.
Okay. Do you know what materials you're making it out of when you're 3D printing?
What filament am I using?
Okay, so here's the question. You have to, once again, I'm not giving you the answer because I don't know the answer. I'm just giving you a question to ask. There are a number of different filaments. There's PLA, ABS, there's carbon injected, all kinds of different things. You might want to investigate, talk to somebody who knows about 3D printing and find out what is the best filament, because they have different characteristics. Some of them are stronger, some of them are denser, some of them have different melting points. Not that that matters to you, but there may be a type of filament that is stronger, which means you could change the shape of your device and it wouldn't break as often. So once again, I don't know the answer. I'm telling you, go check out find the answer, find out what filament you want.
I know that the filament that this one's made out of is PLA, ABS, sorry. But I am looking into all the different types of filament and what how to print it, because you can print it with like more strength and less strength depending on how many like pockets you want in it. I remember that this one was made with a lot of strength. I think these aren't, just testing how much filament to use and how little to use, because it's also a lot of money to buy a bunch of filament and print them and stuff like that.
Oh yes, absolutely. And the whole thing about strength is it's a trade-off between strength and flexibility. And you may want to have some flexibility. So that's something you need to check out. And once again, I don't know the answer. I'm just telling you what the questions are. So there are people who really know 3D printing with different filaments, and go find those people and talk to them.
Yeah.
Very good. Have you approached other skaters?
I have. I just need to print them so they can get it. I've approached my close friends, and I'm also like, I look at all the skaters around the rink that I know, and I'm trying to get like a healthy batch of people that are high levels, people that are medium, people that are lower. It's just a lot of skaters aren't regular anymore because of COVID. You know, we used to have like everyone skates every day this time, and now it's kind of like, I couldn't get ice this week. So it's a little crazy on who's going to be there when. But as soon as I get like maybe 6 more effective spinners that I know will work for long periods of time, I will go to their houses if I need to give it to them and be like, hey, we need to start some testing and collecting data.
Well, COVID is your friend, because they used to be able to go spin on the ice, and now they can't do that.
I know.
So take advantage of COVID. I mean, I think that's great. I'm sorry, Amy, I just ramble on. So
no, you're fine. You had good points. She needs to pursue the patent, though. Like you said, she needs to go take a look at that, and then keep asking questions like you are to make it better. Keep testing, and it's getting better with every time that you're trying it and looking at new things. You're an inventor, for sure.
Thank you.
And once again, I'll tell you the same thing I had told another student. We had a group on earlier, and I'm trying to get their correct name now, National Academy of Inventors. You can Google them, okay, and send them an email or phone them, pick them up and call them on the phone and go, hi, here's who I am, here's my situation, can you help me? I think that you're going to find that they're very interested in helping you, because they're the kind of person that they love to get involved with, a young person with good ideas who needs some help and support and guidance. And I think you'll find some people there who are just delighted to talk to you.
All right, I will do.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I have a question. You did this thing, and then what has happened? Have you won any awards or prizes or anything?
Well, I was the only one in my class. About 3 of us went to the California Invention Convention. I was the only one who had advanced to nationals, and then I made it top 10 nationals. I didn't go to global, so that's where that stopped. And then now I'm here, which is very exciting. So I've only done nationals and the invention challenge.
So you're going to be competing at an international level in what month?
October,
In September.
September.
September 25th.
That.
September 25th. Saturday, September 25th.
Okay.
Okay. Well, not October, September. Okay. Very good, very good. And there'll be students from all over the world in there. So it's going to be tough. You're going to have to get your act together and really. And if I can just give you some advice, what you gave today was a wonderful presentation, okay? And the reason I thought it was wonderful is you just didn't dwell on your success. You talked about all the things that you had to improve and work on. And the people who are interested in innovation realize that that's frankly the most important part of the process. It's not where you got, it's how you got there. It's, you know, that innovation process. And that's what made you successful. Good. Do you have any other ideas, other things you're working on, thinking about?
No, this is kind of the only invention I've ever made. Regarding the spinner, I think it's just going to be a lot more testing, a lot more like finding problems to fix. There are, like, I had an idea for specific guards that I use to make it specific to those kinds of things, which I'm playing around with. But that kind of happens on its own with the foam and imprinting. So it's more on like just fixing problems and making it the best it can be.
Great, very good, very good. How do you keep from getting dizzy when you're spinning? I've never understood how people can do that.
It's something that you learn on your own. I don't think it could be taught. Skaters, we don't spot like dancers do. I feel like when you spot, you get so much more dizzy because you're whipping your head. But I still get dizzy after 5 years of spinning and spinning. It just kind of goes away real quick. Once you exit the spin, you keep going. It leaves you for a minute. You just kind of don't see anything when you spin. It's all blurry. You blink and it's done.
But the problem is after you're done spinning, then you have to skate some more.
Yeah, well, normally when you're like competing and you're doing your program stuff, you finish the spin, you're like, all right, what's next? And then you forget that you were spinning and you go from jump to jump, from spin to spin. And as soon as you exit, you're like, what's the next thing I got to do? You don't remember that you were just dizzy.
Wow, I'm very impressed. Amy, you have anything, last words? No, you don't have to. I just always feel
guilty. Doing what you're doing. I mean, like, I'm just like amazed too, like you, Jake. I'm just like, wow, you know, at such a young age to be doing what you're doing and thinking like you're thinking. So just keep up the good work, and I wish you lots of luck.
Thank you.
And let me explain why we said that. It's not so much your invention, okay? It's the process you've learned. And no offense, you made this little invention. You're not going to make $100 million on it. You know, I mean, it's a nice idea. It's great. And it's something you'd be extremely proud of. But what you should be even more proud of is the fact that you now have learned how to overcome failure. You've learned how to be thinking about things and analyzing things. You've learned how to work with different materials and adjust what you're trying to do with what materials you have and how do you make it work. And those are the skills that you will use throughout the rest of your life, no matter what your career is. You may not be a professional skater. You may end up doing something else. And whatever you do, you're going to have problems that you have to learn to overcome, and resources that you have to use and materials you have to use. And that's what you've learned. This is, you know, I mean, the skating is nice, but it's the other life skills that you have accomplished. And you should be very proud of what you've done.
Thank you.
The people that you can help along the way. You may be helping young skaters that are just learning to skate, and your invention may help them to have confidence and to learn to spin. And the fact that the way you think now, you can become one of those serial inventors where you look around you and find other things and solve problems and continue to help the world in your way. So you should be very proud.
Thank you so much.
And if you do become a world famous skater, can I get your autograph?
Of course, absolutely.
Sure, that's what she says now. We'll see what happens.
No, I promise. I promise.
Okay, it's recorded. We've got that recording.
Yeah, you got me on video. I can't go back now.
We want to
Okay,
see you at the Winter Olympics.
very good. Well, thank you very much. This has been very exciting.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.